فلا تهنوا وتدعوا للسلم. So don't weaken and it's why is it fascinating? First, it says, okay, don't weaken and call for peace or non-aggression. I'm just curious how Muhammad Asad dealt with this. 35. So Muhammad Asad says, so do not lose heart and never beg for peace, for seeing that God is with you, you are bound to rise high in the end, and never will God let your good deeds go to waste. Muhammad Asad's translation is closer to my understanding, is that don't weaken and sow for peace. It is not saying أنتم الأعلى because you are high, or the way some interpreters understood this verse is in a very pragmatic way. So it's basically the way they understood it is saying, as long as you are the powerful party, don't go for peace. The implication here is that if you are not the powerful party, then go ahead. It's okay to sow for peace. But that very realpolitik, pragmatic understanding of the verse is not born by the context, by the nature of the narrative, because it is revealed at a time after Uhud where Muslims are not al-a'laun. They're not the powerful party. In fact, they're an oppressed, highly disempowered party. So how could be Allah is telling them, well, you are the powerful party, so don't go for peace? Doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is Allah is saying, there is a principle here. And as long as there is the cause that requires you not to accept peace, then in fact you cannot accept peace. In other words, as long as there is an imperative to stand and fight for your cause, and if you do so, then you will be al-a'laun. Then Allah will aid you and you will be the honored party. This is consistent with the message of the surah itself, that if you don't do this, you will revert to fasad fil ard and taqti' al arham. If you don't have resolve, if you don't have strength, the reason Allah asks you to fight is not because Allah loves fighting, but because the nature of bala, the nature of human beings testing one another, requires you to stand firm for principle, to stand up for a cause. Put differently, only the strong can truly sow for peace. The weak cannot afford peace. When the weak go for peace, it becomes oppression. But the strong, because peace is a harder battle than war. Peace is a far more challenging battle than war. So don't weaken. Now notice in Surah Al-Anfal, what Allah said is that if your enemy is the one that vows for peace, then you may reciprocate. But when your enemy is not vowing for peace, when your enemy is continuing on a course of aggression, continues to oppress you, then you can't. The message of the Quran is very coherent and systematic, which again emphasizes that it is not warfare for its own sake. Okay.